I'd love to ask you about sponsorship and mentorship. It's language that's newly familiar to leaders today and understanding the difference between the two. So my question for you is, how important is sponsorship when you prepare for board service?
No, I think sponsorship may be the most critical for board service. Now, mentorship through your career is critical, and I am not one who espouses a single model of mentorship. I believe in spot mentoring for a specific problem or situation, lifetime mentoring, functional mentoring. So I think mentorship is like a portfolio. You've got mentors in different ages and backgrounds and hopefully in your organization, outside of your organization, and throughout your life. Sponsors, that's kind of gold, if you will, the gold standard. Sponsorship is built over time. There's a trust in the relationship. Someone is willing, quite frankly, to take a risk. And when I say risk, it's less that they're taking a risk on you or me, but they're also willing, quite frankly, to challenge those who will detract, because there will always be detractors as you move in your career. They're willing to put some of their, if you will, personal brand, some of their accrued influence, some of their achievement on the line.
Let's talk about that,
Yeah.
because as you and I both know, search firms put people on boards.
Yes, they do.
But far more board seats are filled through personal networks, whether
Absolutely.
it's a board sitting around a table and saying, who do we know
Yeah.
who might be able to fill this seat?
Yeah.
Or going through personal networks to get to people who
Right.
representing profiles that the board doesn't know themselves. So what advice do you have for board seekers beyond the ubiquitous networking,
Yeah.
which we all know is
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
to get themselves into position for board consideration?
Well, look, I think, Kim, we would both acknowledge that board composition, just that sort of boards hiring friends and colleagues, has been both a problem, quite frankly, for diversifying boards. And quite frankly, I would argue it's a problem for even managing solid companies, because at the end of the day, people tend to gravitate towards people who are like them, that have shared experiences. And so it will, by definition, over time, eliminate or reduce the number of individuals who don't fit that profile. And so you have to be intentional. So it's still great to have board members engaged, but board members who are intentionally looking for skill sets that are not like theirs. But it is a mindset shift that says, I am purposefully looking for people who don't look like me, maybe don't have my background, maybe weren't a former CEO. That's how the pool gets bigger, when the
Yes.
board starts to think differently. Every leader of the organization where I serve on the board, they were conscious and intentional in building a diverse board. And they stated it, and they let people know that this was their intent. And it's the role of people who are on boards to have conversations about how they got there, but also to each one bring one. Like, everybody who has a board-ready colleague, when you see individuals land in these board roles and companies shift in the way they think, that's the ultimate satisfaction.